Most people train their core from the outside. They focus on abs, on six-packs, on planks, on feeling the burn. But the strongest part of your core isn't something you can even see. It's hidden deep inside your body, and most people completely ignore it. The funny thing is that visible abs have much more to do with what's happening in your kitchen than what you are doing in the gym, because your abs are only one part of the system. Today I'll show you the 3 ways I trained the muscle that completely changed how I understand core strength, stability and performance. And honestly, I think you should be training it too. Why I changed my core training? For years I trained my core the traditional way. Planks, crunches, bracing, core circuits. And I'm not saying those exercises are bad, but for me they weren't enough. They a little bit destroyed me. Something was missing. Then I started learning about the diaphragm and its role in stabilization. Not just breathing. Stabilization. I discovered that the way I breathe directly affects how stable, strong and powerful my body feels during the movement. That realization was a huge hit to my ego. I had spent more than a decade playing football at a high level, training hard almost every day, and I had never truly understood how the stabilization system of the body worked. At first, I didn't want to accept it, but the more I learned, the more obvious it became. I started thinking about training individual muscles, and I started thinking about training the entire stabilization system. That changed everything. Most people know the diaphragm as a breathing muscle, and that's true, but that's only part of the story. The diaphragm also helps stabilize the spine. It works together with the abdominal wall, pelvic floor, obliques and deep stabilizing muscles to create support from the inside out. And once I understood that, I started training it deliberately. Today there are 3 ways I regularly train my diaphragm. Simulation of high altitude training. The first method comes from Oxygen Advantage. Breath hold training. For healthy individuals, controlled breath holds can increase tolerance to carbon dioxide and create a stronger training stimulus for the diaphragm. During these exercises, the diaphragm works much harder than during normal breathing. Over time, breathing becomes more efficient and the body learns how to tolerate air hunger more effectively. And that's one of the reasons many people notice improvements in breathing efficiency and exercise performance. Method number 2, breathing muscle training. The second method is breathing resistant training. I use the Oxygen Advantage SportsMask to create resistance during inhalation and exhalation. Think about it like strength training for your breathing muscles. The diaphragm has to work harder against resistance. And just like any other muscle in the body, it adapts. Now, this is where many people get confused. This is not about reducing oxygen. It's not about suffocating yourself. The goal is to challenge the breathing muscles and improve breathing efficiency. That's a very important distinction. Method number 3, developmental positions and intra-abdominal pressure. This is my favorite method, and honestly, the one that changed my understanding of core training the most. I use developmental kinesiology positions and consciously train intra-abdominal pressure while breathing and moving. Why developmental positions? Because every healthy human being naturally develops through these positions during the first year of life, before walking, before running, before sports. The body first learns stabilization, and that's exactly what we are trying to restore. I train breathing, stabilization, movement, and pressure management together, not separately. For me, this is the closest thing to true functional core training. Looking back, I realized I was training only one part of the system, and most people still do. They train the visible muscles, but they never train the entire stabilization system. Today, I focus on all three: breath hold training, breathing muscle training, and developmental stabilization training. Together, they completely changed how I think about core strength. If you'd like to understand how breathing and stabilization work together, download my free ebook, Core Stability Reset. You'll find the link below. But if you still think your core is just your abs, you're missing the most important part. Watch this next video where I explain what the core actually is and how the stabilization system really works. Because once you understand that, you'll never look at core training the same way again.